Hello and welcome to the I Hit Drums, a Beginner's Guide podcast with me, Mark, your teacher for this series. Last time we were working with dynamic exercises. Today, we're going to conclude this series with 6 new songs. First of all, I'd just like to say a big thank you if you've gotten this far, and also if you've bought the book. I hope you found the book and this series both educational, useful, and most of all, fun. I decided to finish the book off with 6 songs, and each of these include various elements that we've worked on and developed throughout the book. Now, there are no key grooves with any of these songs. Hopefully by now, you're able to look at each piece and understand what's happening. But if anything comes up that you're not sure about, you should be able to find an example of that earlier in the book and then rework through that chapter and then try the song. For the 6 remaining pieces, we have a hip-hop tune called Bling Heaven, a 12-bar blues song called Status 4, a psychedelic pop song called Don't Let It Happen, a pop song called You, a synth pop song called Cold Chips, and finally, a blues song called King Thrill. As you work through each of these songs, or in fact any song in the future, there's 6 things that I'd recommend that you apply in terms of learning these songs. And these are: 1. Listen to the full speed version of the song with drums to help you get an understanding of the style and sound that you're trying to recreate. 2. Work through the sheet music at a steady pace and focus on those tricky areas most of all. There's no point spending half an hour working on grooves that you can already play if there's one bar that's tripping you up. 3. Work through the sections of the song one at a time. This can help you get familiar with a verse section or a chorus section before trying to stitch it all together. 4. Work on those transition parts from one section to another. As we spend time on each section individually, we can often overlook that transition point between a verse and a chorus. I'd recommend you maybe pick the last 2 or 4 bars of one section and the first 2 or 4 bars of the next. 5. If you're just playing without a metronome and without the song along with the sheet music, then get a metronome and actually see how fast you're playing naturally. That gives you something to work off of. You also know if you're going too slow or even too fast. Once you've figured out this speed, set the metronome to that speed and see if you can keep to it throughout the piece consistently. Alternatively, put on the music at that speed and try it with the song. What you might find is that those trickier bars, you actually slow down a bit, and for the easier bars, you might even speed up. 6. Once you're able to play with the backing track, gradually increase that speed until you're able to play it at full speed. Don't start at full speed, work up to that. I'd like to add that if you're sitting any exams for drums, and these could be Rock School, Trinity, or any other exam board that might exist in your country, then I've written these pieces to be acceptable as free choice pieces for grades 1 and 2. So if you really like some of these songs and you are sitting an exam, check with your teacher or examiner whether or not these are acceptable. And if they object, send them to me. If you would like something to show for all your hard work, I do also offer a certificate. This isn't an official certification through any exam body, but I feel like if you work through the whole book, you deserve to have something to show. So on page 92, you'll see a couple of options that you can take for this certificate. Option A involves playing 3 songs from the list provided, as well as exercise 7.4 at 60 BPM. Option B is playing 5 songs from the list provided at full speed. In all of these performances, you'll be marked on timekeeping, independence between the limbs, sight reading, technique on the kit, and musicality. Whichever option you go for, a video must be submitted playing straight through without any stops. Obviously, you can pause to actually change your music, but the video should keep running. And all videos must be accompanied by the drumless backing tracks at full speed. If this isn't something you're able to do, then click your sticks during the count-in so that I can link up the backing track to your video. Details on fees for this and how to submit videos can be found on page 93. If that's not your cup of tea, that's absolutely fine. But I would really like to hear from you and find out how you got on with this series and with the book. So find me on Instagram at IHitDrums and send me a message. I'm also on Facebook, where you can find me at facebook.com/IHitDrumsUK. There will be a follow-up to this book with the next level aimed at grades 3 to 4, which I'm currently working on. So if you do follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll be some of the first to know about the next book. Finally, I'd like to say a big thank you to anyone that spent time working through the book, listening to this series, or has actually come to me for some feedback lessons or online lessons. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So until the next book, enjoy.